Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you're in marketing, you absolutely know the feeling, right? You're trying to create totally unique content for 5 different platforms, you're engaging with comments 24/7, and you're somehow supposed to stay on top of every single new trend. It feels, well, it feels impossible. Today, we're going to dive into how AI can actually become your strategic partner and turn all that chaos into a clear, really effective social media strategy.
And just so you know, everything we're about to cover comes directly from Chapter 9 of a fantastic tutorial by Virtualization Options LLC. They've packed it with insights on this exact topic. So, let's get into it.
All right, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the big picture challenge. Then we'll dig into creating content that's just right for each platform. After that, we'll talk about engaging your community, running paid campaigns, and finally, how to navigate those tricky social trends. Let's jump right in.
Okay, first up, let's just set the stage. Every single social media manager out there knows what it's like to juggle a dozen tasks at once. You're trying to be creative, strategic, and responsive all at the same time. It is a massive drain on your time and energy.
So this is the big question, isn't it? It's not just about if AI can help, but how it can help. And what we're going to see is that the real key is learning how to craft smart, super specific AI prompts to make your job not just more efficient, but believe it or not, more creative too.
So our first big hurdle is what the source material calls the platform puzzle. And you know exactly what this is. You can't just post a formal LinkedIn article on Instagram, right? Each platform has its own language, its own culture. So how in the world do you create content that feels totally native everywhere without completely burning out?
Well, the solution is this really cool technique called platform-specific prompting. This goes way beyond just asking an AI for a social media post. Instead, it's all about giving your AI hyper-specific instructions that are tailored to the unique audience and the format of each and every platform. So check out how this actually works. For LinkedIn, you'd prompt the AI for something like a thought leadership angle with a professional tone. For Instagram, you might describe your photo and ask for a complimentary caption that tells a story. And on X, instead of just one tweet, you'd ask for a multi-tweet thread with a really strong hook. See, it's about speaking the native language of each platform through your prompts.
Now, creating the content, that's just step one. Social media is a two-way street, which brings us to our next challenge, actually engaging with your community. I mean, this is responding, participating, building real relationships, all of which, as you know, takes a huge amount of time.
It really all comes down to this simple truth. Success requires active management. You have to be in the conversation. So the goal with AI here isn't to automate your personality away, but to help you scale your presence so you can have more of those meaningful interactions.
So how can AI actually help with this? Well, think of it in these 4 stages. You can use it to draft templates for common questions, which is a huge time saver. You can have it brainstorm ways to authentically jump into conversations. You can even use it to prepare on-brand crisis responses and collaborate on partnership content. The main takeaway here is that this is all about assistance, not total automation.
And this becomes absolutely critical when you're working with partners or influencers. Your prompts have to go a lot deeper. You have to ask the AI things like, does this provide value to their audience? And does this actually sound like something they would say? This is how you make sure the collaboration feels genuine and not like some forced ad.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about paid advertising. This is where the stakes get a lot higher. You know, writing for organic engagement is one thing, but writing ad copy that actually converts, that's a completely different skill set. And that's what we're calling the paid ad hurdle. To get really effective ad copy from an AI, your prompts need to be incredibly structured. This 5-element framework is a fantastic model. You have to define the campaign objective, describe the audience, specify the creative format, list any platform rules like character limits, and of course, define the call to action. If you leave any of these out, you're just going to get generic copy that, well, it just won't work.
And this slide really highlights why that structure is so critical. I mean, think about it. The goal of your organic content is usually about building community and sparking conversation. But paid ads, they're all about driving specific actions, conversions, leads, sales. Because the goals are so fundamentally different, the AI prompts you use have to be just as distinct. All right, finally, let's talk about what the source calls the trend tightrope. We've all seen brands try to jump on a viral trend, and when it works, wow, it's a huge boost. But when it doesn't, it can backfire spectacularly and make the brand look totally out of touch. This is the question every social media manager asks themselves probably every single day. There's so much pressure to participate in every trend, but the risk of getting it wrong is massive.
But this is where we can reframe AI's role. It's not just a content creator anymore, it's a strategic sounding board to help you make the right call.
So instead of just prompting, write a post about this trend, you use a much more strategic 4-step process. You ask the AI to help you evaluate relevance, to brainstorm authentic connections to your brand, and crucially, to help you assess the potential risks. This is all about using AI for strategy, not just for execution.
And this quote from the source material just says it all. It's better to skip a trend than damage brand perception with forced participation. You know, sometimes the absolute smartest move is to just not play. And AI can be the tool that helps you make that strategic decision.
So, what is the big takeaway from all of this? It's really this fundamental shift in perspective. AI isn't just a machine that you ask to spit out content. When you use it correctly, it becomes a true strategic collaborator in your marketing efforts.
So to recap the key strategies we've covered. Number 1, tailor your prompts for each platform's unique culture. 2, use AI to assist with community engagement, not replace it. 3, use a really structured framework for your paid ad prompts. And 4, analyze trends with AI before you decide to jump in.
Which leaves us with this final, kind of provocative question. When you have these kinds of strategic workflows and proven prompts for every single situation, could it be that your next best social media hire isn't a person at all, but a well-crafted AI prompt library? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.